time, and he's been very helpful and busy in the efforts to restore this great historic city. But Matt, like Bonnie Blair, chose a sport that was not for the faint of heart: altitude running. And I think everybody would love to hear, Matt, why altitude running, and what is it that lured you into this incredibly demanding activity?
Well, when I started out running, at the time, Frank Shorter was really big, and I'd heard that he trained in Vail, Colorado. And I thought, you know, to be among the best, you had to do like the best. So I moved to Vail, Colorado, and while I was up there training to run a flat marathon, I heard about the Pikes Peak Marathon, and I thought that sounded really interesting, and I was kind of ignorant at the time, so I came down and I pointed up at the Pikes Peak mountain. I said, "I am Pikes Peak." And I got my butt kicked really bad that first race, and in fact I was riding down the mountain with my friend, and I told him, I said, "Harold, you need to pull the car over." And he's like, "Why?" "You just pull the car over." So I'm on the side of the road puking up my grapes and bananas, and he's like, "Yeah, you are Pikes Peak." and that kind of impacted me in a way, because I hate it when something kicks my butt that bad. So I wanted to go back and try to get it right, and I was very fortunate and found a sport that I just loved.
Pikes Peak is one thing, but the incline is another. That's one of the most unusual things, and now, of course, it will be available to everybody. But tell us about your experiences with the incline, which is something extraordinary.
Well, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people in this room that have done it, because I've bumped into a couple tonight, but that's another one that you just start off thinking it's not that bad, and then you realize when you get up there that there's a false summit, and it's really bad. And it's just one of those things that, you know, you go on a normal run down the street or on a trail, and you know, you have to work a really long time or be on your feet a long time to get a great view. But with the incline, just a few minutes into it, you get to turn around and you get to see Manitou Springs, and then you go a little higher, you get to see the Garden of the Gods. You go a little higher, and then you see Colorado Springs, and bang for buck, for 1 mile, you don't get much higher, much quicker, and I think that's what draws so many people to it.
Louis, your first look at the Colorado Springs Sky Sox when the Indians broke spring training